Please welcome Oregon Community Foundation President and CEO Lisa Mensah.
Really great. Oh, you look great, family. This looks great. Welcome, welcome. What an amazing privilege it is to lead the Oregon Community Foundation. And what an honor to know and work with Joe Weston. We're so proud of the 35-year partnership with Joe to serve the most vulnerable Oregonians. Can we get another round of applause for Joe Weston? Joe is among those who've shown us time and time again the mindset that it takes to really make change. And are we ever making change together? Listen to this. Last year, the Oregon Community Foundation and our donors deployed more than $200 million in grants and scholarships. Yes, that's a good number. And as Peter talked about serving the whole state, these grants supported 600 communities across our states and more than 4,000 nonprofits. That's improving the lives of all Oregonians. So I've been around a while, and one of the lessons of my career, one of the actual lessons of my lifetime is really this, that thinking big rarely starts in a spotlight. It starts quietly, alone. And sometimes someone sees what's broken and starts imagining what could be better. And that's what we call what-if thinking. But when you have a big idea, it can also feel very heavy, because caring about something deeply and envisioning possibilities means holding the questions that don't have clear answers and often carrying them alone. We often think that big ideas fail because they're bad ideas, but in my experience, big ideas fail because they're too heavy to carry alone. They're heavy to hold when conditions are imperfect, and they're far from perfect right now. We're living in a time when the fundamental relationship with the federal government has changed. Now, we need a federal partner, and I'm not giving up on that, and I know you're not giving up on that either. But for now, we need to reach out to each other in new and creative ways to make progress on the issues that matter most. So the question for Oregon is not really whether we have big ideas. We've got plenty of them. The question is whether we recognize that we need more hands to carry them. Some of Oregon's boldest thinkers are carrying big ideas about food. And as you start your lunch here, I mean, who doesn't love food? These big thinkers think about food as identity, food as economy, food as culture, and food as climate. Like our newest board member, Corey Carmen. She's a rancher in Wallowa County that's rethinking everything about a 400-year-old way of life in America. She's rebuilt her family's 113-year-old ranch from the soil up to nourish the animals and the planet that nourish us. And she's bringing more regenerative ranchers along with her to shift the mindset of a massive agricultural system. Yet Corey says she often feels like she's standing at a window looking at a future that most people can't see yet. And we know that support for pilot projects would help Corey and her peers persuade more families to embrace new ways to raise cattle. Some of you may have heard of another big thinker, Mike Thielen of Food Forward Oregon. Mike says that our state has all the raw materials to become a world leader in food and beverage and culinary innovation. So what if Oregon was an international food destination? Because food isn't just what we grow, it's how we build prosperity. These are the kind of big ideas that are taking shape around different size tables. Each one needs some structure, some trust, and the partners willing to pull it together. Now, Oregonians already know how to pull together during a crisis, and we faced one last fall when we faced a disruption in the federal food benefits. This disruption in SNAP benefits had families lining up outside of their local food banks, and we've got food banks in the room with us today. And Oregonians linked arms in response. We worked with food banks and fellow funders here today to step up, and in just 3 months, Oregon Community Foundation donors and grants moved more than $4 million in hunger relief statewide. It really was an inspiring response, but we also know we're not done. Families are still struggling to pay for food. And in a land as bountiful as Oregon, no one should have to go hungry. It's really true. We should not have to go hungry. Another thing, no one should live in fear in this country. And that's why in a year of real fear and uncertainty for immigrants and refugees, the Oregon Community Foundation deepened our commitment. We're proud to have partnered with the Collins Foundation and the Meyer Memorial Trust, and I see their leaders here, on a funding collaborative that serves the needs of immigrants and refugees. Through that effort and other grant programs of donors, we served immigrant and refugee communities with more than $5 million in support last year, and I'm proud of that. Behind these numbers are real stories and big ideas. One of those is Oregon for All. It's a coalition led by 8 organizations and partnering with 80 more to protect immigrants and refugees and keep our communities intact. You see, Oregon for All believes that immigrants and refugees are our neighbors, our classmates, and our colleagues, and they make Oregon stronger. And that's what it looks like when we carry a big idea together. Thank you. Sometimes, when you carry a big idea, it means you have to pivot quickly. And we saw an example of that last year when we faced the real possibility of losing the Portland Trailblazers. We were all asking, would a new owner move our team somewhere else? Could we lose the pure joy of Rip City? And whether or not you're a basketball fan, I'm sure you recognize that an NBA team, also a WNBA team, adds to our civic identity. That's part of us. Losing the economic engine of the Blazers would have hurt our entire region. It took bold thinking to prevent that, and Oregon Community Foundation was in the room. We created a fund called the Portland United Fund to support the planning of the future of the Moda Center, because we know that philanthropy can be an essential pair of hands when Oregon's economic vitality is on the line, and it certainly is now. Peter talked about the arts, and many sectors contribute to our economic vitality, but especially the arts and culture sector. Yeah, we're in this beautiful museum. We gotta cheer for the arts. Our partners in the arts sector came to us after the pandemic and said, we're on the brink. The audiences just aren't coming back in the same numbers. And so we at Oregon Community Foundation said, what if we dug deep and made a 3-year commitment to keep arts and culture thriving in every corner of Oregon, in large organizations and small ones. We joined with our foundation partners and state leaders for what we called the love letter to the arts. And artists and culture bearers, they've had big ideas and creative energy that challenge our understanding of what it means to be an Oregonian. They keep our communities thriving culturally and economically. And our message back to the arts community has been clear. We believe in you. We do. We believe in our families too. And right now, they're struggling. And they're struggling to pay for housing. Housing is the foundation of human dignity and the bedrock of a local economy. And Oregon's housing shortage is holding us all back. We hear it from business owners again and again. No housing means no workforce. Jobs sit empty. Opportunities go unrealized. And in our cities, and even more in our rural areas and small towns. One of our board members from Astoria told me he's known people making $50,000 a year who still can't find a place to live near their job. So they sleep in their vans. Oregon needs to build 30,000 homes a year, 30,000 just to keep up. And last year, you know how many we built? We built less than half of those homes. So we can't solve a problem as massive as the housing crisis just with our compassion. We need more capital, and we need it from many hands. And so that's why today I'm announcing something called the Building Hope Fund. And this Building Hope Fund will invest in housing for middle-income Oregonians, our restaurant servers, our bartenders, our nurses, our construction workers, and our teachers. The Building Hope Fund will offer lower-interest loans to developers who are ready to build but can't get the financing to finish their projects. And to put real weight behind the Building Hope Fund, our foundation, the Oregon Community Foundation, will invest a down payment of $100 million in the Building Hope Fund. Told you we're going to have some good news. Yeah, we've been working on this. Before I go on, I want to walk you through how we see the problem and why this Building Hope Fund will make a difference for Oregon. The story really starts back before I got here in 2020 when the state turned to our foundation to quickly convert motels into shelter for unhoused Oregonians. This was called Project Turnkey, and it paid off. We increased Oregon's shelter space by 30%. And along the way, our expertise in housing grew. A team that's been rooted in communities has spent years talking to local leaders. And when I joined, I brought my decades of experience in banking and rural development and an understanding of how to get financing to places where it otherwise won't go. Many factors have caused our housing shortage in Oregon, but what stands out most is this. The major capital markets are choosing to invest outside of Oregon, and we face a serious financing gap. And when that happens, nothing gets built. The costs of housing just keep skyrocketing, and families are priced out, and they lose hope. And that's where the Oregon Community Foundation can help. Our donors are trusting us with an endowment that has reached $4.5 billion. It's an amazing tribute. $4.5 billion, that's the size. And we invest those funds every day in national and international markets so that we can grow and keep doing good things for Oregon and for the 7 generations that we need to be investing for into the future. We're experienced, disciplined investors. And this Building Hope Fund is what they call an impact investment. We've already been doing impact investing for 15 years through something we call the Oregon Impact Fund. And the Building Hope Fund is a smart, next-level investment in projects that can generate returns and real economic development, because this is money that stays in Oregon. This is going to be right here. Now, $100 million is a great start, but we also know it's not enough. We've got work to do, folks. We need more partners. We need more investors, more donors, other foundations, and other financial institutions to help us reach much, much higher. Here's the good news. Anyone can be part of the Building Hope Fund. We need all those hands. We want to make it easy for people to make a grant to this fund. So reach out, be online, find a QR code, because we're going to be in touch. We need to hear from you, and we're eager to talk. We intend to use the power of the investments gathered by the Building Hope Fund to build 10,000 homes in Oregon. That's our goal. And we want to send America a signal. Here's our signal. We want to say we're willing to do what it takes to get our neighbors out of their vans and into a home with a door and a floor and a future. Now, as exciting as this is, I want you to know that we will always be committed to addressing homelessness and affordable housing. That work is going to continue. And so will all the other work we're doing through grants and scholarships to improve the lives of Oregonians. We're still months away from actually making loans out of the Building Hope Fund. We have partnerships to build, money to raise, lots of details to sort out. So if you're a home builder, stay tuned. New ideas take time. And we're balancing the bold actions that we want to see change with the collective wisdom that's guided this institution for more than 50 years. And we believe that if we do this right, the right partners, the right structure, and rock-solid resolve, we'll do more than build homes. We'll build a better Oregon. So I'm sharing a big idea, and we've got a choice. We've got a choice to carry this big idea together. And that's what I think the Oregon Community Foundation exists to do, to stand at that window and see the future together, to provide the catalytic force and the commitment to let ideas grow. Across Oregon, people are thinking big, not because it's easy, but because they've found each other. So here's what I want to leave you with today, and I am going to conclude this speech. 2 simple steps. First, think big, Oregon, and hold hands. Think big, hold hands. This think big, hold hands, it's a way of working together. It's a way of showing up. It's a way we can carry the future together. And that's how we're going to build hope for Oregon. Thank you very much.